What's up, y'all? Landon Pangburn here from Shoot Your Shot Sports. Wanted to throw out a question today just to see what y'all thought. And that question is, are the 2020 Los Angeles Dodgers the greatest Major League Baseball team of all time? Now, I know that sounds crazy, so before you jump all over me for even asking it, let's talk about it just a little bit. So coming into today, which is Saturday, August 29th, the Dodgers currently are sitting at 24-10, which is a .706 winning percentage. Now, if you extrapolate that out over the course of a 162-game season, that would come out to 114 wins, which is right in the same neighborhood as the two winningest teams of all time. The 1906 Chicago Cubs and the 2001 Seattle Mariners both finished with 116 wins, so very comparable there. Keep in mind that neither one of those two teams ended up winning the World Series. And then looking at the numbers this year, the Los Angeles Dodgers are currently leading all of baseball in number of runs scored, number of home runs hit, and in team ERA, which is just crazy. That is a lethal combination for obvious reasons. I mean, if you look at their run differential, which tends to be a really good indicator of how dominant a team is because it shows they're not just getting lucky and sneaking out a bunch of one-run wins, the Dodgers right now are plus 82. Just to put that into perspective, if you combine every other National League team with a positive run differential, it only equals plus 53. So the Dodgers aren't just beating people, they are destroying people. And then you take a step back from kind of the team aspect of it and you zoom in on the individual players on the roster, and they're completely loaded. They've got last year's National League MVP in Cody Bellinger, who's not even playing well this year, but he could turn it on at any moment. They have former American League MVP and a guy who's got to be one of the front runners for this year's NL MVP in Mookie Betts. And then behind those two superstars, you have just like a loaded, deep lineup with guys from both sides of the plate. You got Justin Turner, Max Muncy, AJ Pollock, Joc Pederson, Chris Taylor, Kike Hernandez, Cory Seager's hitting the ball great this year. Lineup is loaded. Pitching staff also loaded. They have one of the greatest pitchers of this generation in Clayton Kershaw, who, after missing that first start with a back issue, is currently sitting with under a 2 ERA, so looks like his old self right now. They've got Walker Buehler, who's a young stud. Dustin May. If you haven't seen Dustin May pitch yet, I urge you to find a video of that guy's 99 mile per hour two-seam fastball that he throws that seems to travel like 4 feet between when it leaves his hand and crosses the plate. Also has a beautiful red mop of a head. Gotta love that guy. Bullpen's nasty, anchored by Kenley Jansen, who's just been dominant in save situations. And not to mention, they've got the people's champion, a guy that I personally think could make a late run for 2020 U.S. presidency, the Astro Slayer himself, Joe Kelly. So you look at the team numbers, you look at the individuals on the roster, and it's just amazing. So you ask yourself, is this the greatest baseball team of all time? And my answer to that question is no. And the reason I say that, I hate to punish the Dodgers for something that's outside of their control, but I just don't think that there's going to be a large enough sample size this year with only 60 games and all the circumstances surrounding the season to fairly compare the Dodgers to those great teams of old. So one of the beautiful things about baseball is that it's a large sample size sport. You know, like teams and players will go on hot streaks and cold streaks, but over 162 games, those things just even out over time as people regress to the mean. And so by the end of the year, you tend to have a really good indication of how good a team or a player is. This year, I just don't think you can fairly compare that. Like I said, there's just not going to be enough data, not enough information to rightly put them in that category. So are they extremely talented? Yes. Are they fun to watch? Yes. Is this a fun conversation to have? Yes. But ultimately, are they the greatest team of all time? I'm going to say no. I'd love to hear what y'all think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. We'll be back with more soon. Have a good day.